Hello and welcome even to the latest CraftySimulations video. Now, I have done these videos before. This is an update video for the latest version of the COWS DA42. Let's see what COWS have done for the greatest twin-engine aircraft here on Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and 2024. Hello and welcome to the latest CraftySimulations video. As the intro says, we are taking a deep dive into the latest version of the COWS DA42 Twin Star. Now, I only do this for the Twin Star. I may be doing this for another aircraft very soon. That's more news on that in the later on in the video. But I only do this for the Twin Star. Now, why do I do this for the Twin Star? Why do I take a deep dive into the update of the Twin Star? Well, A, I like COWS. Sounds so incredibly wrong. I like COWS. I like the COWS developer. They're awesome. They have created, probably in my view, one of the best twin-engine aircraft here on both simulators. This is a general aviation site, general aviation content and general aviation videos. That's what I do. A few warbirds here and there, but most of the time it's general aviation. This was one of the first aircraft I purchased, and I was blown away with whatever version I got the first time. And it just steadily has got better and better and better and better. So I like to concentrate on the updates when they are released, and I will go through with you guys and girls what the latest version, which is version 1.1.5 of the DA42, and what they have tweaked, changed and made better. So we have a new AFCS with, these are the words by the way of COWS, not me, of COWS themselves. So we have new AFCS with PFT, custom roll servo, pitch servo augmentation, a very big word for this time of the day, standard rate turns, warnings and failures. I read that as, we're making this aircraft more fun to fly. Challenging, fun, there's two different words but the same, but yeah, I'm going to go with fun. We have a new trim system with adjustable speed and failures, LVARs added to the list. So they are tweaking the trim system. With adjustable speed and failures. I like failures. They always happen when you least expect them or want them. We have a redone TORS system with new sounds and failures. Now, TORS, traffic avoidance warning system, I do believe. Obviously, I fly with no other traffic. I haven't actually featured this on any content whatsoever, but I do use Beyond ATC. I know some people don't like Beyond ATC. I do. I like it. It's fun for me. And part of Beyond ATC is they've got traffic, AI traffic now, installed into the sim. So I'll be interested to see what this new TORS system does with new sounds and failures when I'm flying in an area that does have a load of traffic. So moving on, we have fixed brake input LVAR units. I have no idea what that is. I know it's something to do with the brakes though. Brakes are always quite good on this aircraft. It felt realistic, not like they'll stop you on a dime, but they were good. They were good. Redone in-game checklist and added new tips section. Okay, so the checklist is something obviously that you can pop up on most aircraft. Most good developers do create checklists, and they're interactive, and they highlight the buttons that you need to press if you can't find them in the cockpit. I actually have this in my cockpit itself. This is the real place. I actually have a checklist, an actual physical checklist for the DA42. It's the Poolies checklist, and it covers everything from preliminary checks, external checks, external checks, external checks. I'm reading it literally as it is. Internal checks before engine starts, procedures and checks, autopilot tests during taxi and before takeoff checks, climb, cruise and after landing checks, fire on the ground, we don't want that, fire in flight, certainly don't want that, total electric failure, what we got, engine restart, that's always interesting in flight, and landing and emergency descent. I remember, I can't remember where I got this from. I got this off an aircraft website. Doesn't take up a lot of space, but actually lends itself to the flight simulator, ignoring the fire stuff obviously, but a lot of the stuff that COWS have put into their virtual checklist actually is in the checklist here. So if you're actually interested and you're thinking maybe, I would love to know what that error is, I really do. Forgive me, I've no idea. Basically, yeah, these checklists pop up, and these checklists are actually very useful, I should say. For that error has just put me right off. I'd love to know what that one is. Anyway, so where was we? Improved 1,000 foot and 200 foot to-go tone behaviour. So this, I do believe, is the warning on the G1000 when you are 1,000 foot and 200 foot underneath or above, underneath your desired altitude set. So you set your altitude for, I don't know, 20,000 feet, something stupid like that. When you're 1,000 foot underneath it, it will make a tone to tell you you are getting close to your autopilot, altitude set limit. Topped off de-ice fluid, always useful when it's winter. Improved slip howl. So I think this is something to do with, is this sounds? I mean, howl sounds? I'm reading that as improved slip. Is that when you slip the aircraft makes a different noise? I don't know. Softened standby instruments. Softened standby instruments. I can't touch them. They're not that real. Anyway, added Hobbs meter. Have I got a cooker in here now as well? I've got a hob. And I've actually got two of them. I've got hobs, haven't I? I have no idea what that is. I haven't a foggiest. General code, stability improvements and bug fixes. That's very important. Now, I'm not saying that there was many bugs and fixes needed for this aircraft. I always thought it was a very well done aircraft. No matter what version it was a good aircraft. It handled how I expected to handle, how a twin engine system would work in an aircraft. I found it to be realistic. Now, cows themselves obviously know a heck of a lot more about simulation development than I ever will, and obviously decided with every version there's bug fixes here and there that need to be done. So that it's good that their developer acknowledges the bugs. They obviously get reports back from players, all that kind of stuff like normal, but they're actually willing to basically look at these bugs and go, yeah, okay, we're going to fix that. It's going to be a hot fix or it's going to be a fix in the next update. So we then go into the 2024 fixes. Yes, this aircraft is available now for Flight Simulator 2024. So we have fixed magneto hardware interfering with engines. See, these problems could list from the Flight Simulator itself. Let's be honest, 2024 has had a very problematic birth, to say the least. Fixed engines stuck in failed condition under certain circumstances. So if an engine's failed, and in that condition, you cannot get it out. That's interesting. Fixed state saving. State saving is very important in an aircraft. It makes it realistic, I think. Getting back into an aircraft and the buttons are in a different position. Obviously, that goes back to your checklist. You'd have this in a real aviation aircraft. You jump into an aircraft, you don't know who's flown it last. Have they left the buttons in the correct position? That's why you have your pre-startup checks. And you look around the cockpit and you set all the buttons to how they should be for a complete startup. Fixed default fuel load. Okay, so this might be the fact of the default fuel load might be either too low or too high. I think it's 50%, isn't it, the default? I'm not 100%, but I think it's 50%. So it might have been less. I don't know. I've got this in 2024. I've never noticed this. Haven't really flown 2024 that much, if I'm honest. So then we have fixed aircraft falling into the ground when walking away. That's 2024 all over. Okay, so you can walk around the aircraft and interact, I do believe, with the chocks and things of that nature around the aircraft. You can't do that in 2020, you can do that in 2024. So what happens is you jump out the aircraft is then falling through the textures of the ground. Okay, so that is a kind of flight simulator related issue. As I've said, and I think we all know by now, 2024 has been slightly problematic, but basically they're trying to fix that. So they fixed it their end. Now it's hopefully the flight simulator will obviously be fixed. So that is version 1.1.5. Okay, so it's not the biggest update in the world, but it is an update that adds a lot more and brings more realism to what I thought was a very, very realistic aircraft. So, anyway, I will now move on to another aircraft. I don't have this aircraft. I will when it gets released, because cows, who have released one aircraft in all their time so far, which is this amazing, I'm not knocking cows for this, but they have concentrated on the DA42 and she be amazing, they have, or in the process of final works of releasing a new aircraft. I've said this before on the channel a few times, I've hinted at it, they were in works. They are going to release the DA40, which is the single engine variant of this aircraft, let's say. So if you have the 42, The cockpit, obviously, is going to be, like most real aircraft manufacturers, they do lift certain parts of the cockpit and put it into another aircraft. Obviously, the biggest difference is the 40 is going to be a single engine, so you're going to lose quite a bit of instrumentation there regarding twin engines and the engine startup procedures and the engine computers and all that kind of stuff. You're going to lose some of that because it is a single engine aircraft. But from what I've seen so far, the DA40, she be kicking. She be good. I am so looking forward to the DA40 XL, I think it is. I can't remember exactly what the official name is. But she is looking like an amazing aircraft. Where does she fit into the flight simulator market? I would class her along the lines of the Cirrus SR20 and 22, is it, I think? The advanced single-engined glass cockpit, futuristic looking general aviation aircraft. She don't look like a Cessna. You know, ignore the fact she's got one engine at the front of the nose and all that kind of stuff, and it is a training aircraft. She don't look like that. She don't have instrumentation and gauges. She'll have some, but she does have the G1000, I believe, cockpit off the top of my head. It's a glass cockpit anyway, like the DA42. So if you are flying the DA42, you're probably going to like the DA40. I am seriously looking forward to this. Now, I don't have a release date for this, but I am looking on the Discord page right now, and the links have already popped up for the DA40, which means it ain't far away. I noticed this was on Orbex. Now, I purchased my DA42 through Orbex, and the DA40 was listed as a sellable product. It's not, or it wasn't when I checked then. It's just been put on the page by Orbex, getting ready for its release date. I don't have a release date, I'm sorry, but if you are interested, if you like the DA42, you are going to be very interested in taking the butchers at the DA40, and I guarantee you this, if I'm not working, I will be purchasing the DA40, and you will see the DA40 on the channel in the future. So I can't wait for that. I think it's amazing, I think it's fantastic, and basically that's about all I can say. So I will be featuring more videos with the DA42. Like I said, the Twin Star is amazing. I love this aircraft. I think I said in a previous video I want to do more flights to and from airfields and airports, and the DA42 will lead me to do that. I'm not sure whether I'm going to put Beyond ATC into my flight simulator yet, or into my videos I should say yet. I know a lot of people don't particularly like it, but I do. I think it's amazing. Adds a bit of realism. So yeah, if you've got any questions or comments about the DA42, let me know below. Links below to where you can purchase it from Orbex. If you are interested in the DA40, it's also on Orbex at the moment, so the page is there. You can save it, I do believe, for a future purchase. And I don't think there's a release date yet for it as yet, but it is close. So, like I say, if you've got any questions or comments, bang them below. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Hope you found it informative. And I shall see you in a future Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 video very, very soon.